In a significant diplomatic moment for East Africa, Kenya has officially assured Yoweri Museveni and his government in Uganda that it will not obstruct Uganda's efforts to access the Indian Ocean, a move that could reshape trade, defense, and regional integration dynamics. The ask and the response. President Museveni has long argued that Uganda, being a landlocked nation, is disadvantaged in trade and defense, saying the country has been locked out of what rightfully belongs to us when it comes to coastal access. In response, Kenya's Foreign Affairs Minister and Prime Cabinet Secretary, Musalia Mudavadi, stated that Kenya acknowledges international conventions on landlocked countries' rights and is committed to facilitating access for any such country wishing to use the port of Mombasa. He said, "We are aware of international conventions on landlocked countries, and what we must do is to assist landlocked countries. Kenya is a responsible member of the international community, and it is in our interest to facilitate any landlocked country that wishes to use the port of Mombasa." However, the assurance did not explicitly confirm whether Uganda will be allowed to train a navy on the Indian Ocean shores, a key point raised by Museveni. Stakes, trade, security, and regional standing. This issue touches on several big stakes for East Africa. Trade and economic access. For Uganda, accessing a seaport directly can significantly reduce logistics costs and boost export potential. Being landlocked doesn't have to mean being disadvantaged if coastal access is secured. Defense and sovereignty. Museveni also raised questions around defense. How can Uganda build a navy without direct sea access? He argued that maritime access is not only an economic matter, but one of national security. Regional diplomacy and precedent. Mudavadi's comments underline Kenya's willingness to support landlocked neighbors, which might encourage similar arrangements across Africa. There are echoes of the similar pressures faced by Ethiopia when it sought sea access via neighboring countries. Challenges and unanswered questions. Despite the positive tone, practical implementation remains unclear. Will Kenya offer Uganda direct access to the shoreline or only allow transit of goods through its ports? What about Uganda exercising naval training or maritime operations on Kenyan coastal waters, a point raised by Museveni, but not directly addressed by Kenya? Will agreements be formalized in binding treaties or remain verbal assurances? How will other regional players and sea access states respond if Uganda begins to assert such rights? Looking ahead. For now, Kenya's stance signals cooperation and goodwill. But the next steps will determine whether it becomes a transformative arrangement or remains a diplomatic gesture. Uganda will likely push for more concrete commitments, and Kenya must balance domestic port interests, regional diplomacy, and international maritime frameworks.